And we are live. Man, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Push Power to Power show. So I'm happy to be here, man. I was in a rush, man. Isn't it crazy? I just got here, dropped the bags, opened up the computer, put in the camera, went to the restroom, washed my face, and I was like, boom, another podcast of the day, because today was an amazing day, man. I had a podcast in the morning with a digital marketing e-commerce guy. Then we went out there and he started training me how to take pictures, and we took some cool pictures and all of that. We went out to eat lunch, and then right now we went out to eat dinner, and I was like, boom, drove over here, and I was like, man, I cannot miss this show tonight because it's the 7:30 p.m. show, man. The video box, man, and I'm hoping y'all ready, man, because I know I am, and I know some of y'all want to ask some question about the video box that I got right here, and I've been showing around a lot of people here in Houston, and they're like, damn, that's going to change the game. I'm like, dude, it's already changing the game. But let's get ready for the show, and we'll be back right now. Woo! Welcome back. Woo, man, I'm excited. I'm about to pop the guest today, Mr. Caleb Wylde, right now in a little minute. To everybody that's watching right now, if you got a computer or your phone, you already know what to do. Share this, share the pride, share the love, and grab your phone, grab your notepad, because we're going to give a lot of value. Today was just the day was nothing about giving value, but I mean, damn, like I don't even believe this energy that is coming out for me, man. I was already tired. I'm like, I still gotta do the 7:30. So I was like, woo, people thinking I was out drinking and stuff right now when I got to the studio. I'm like, nah, man, it's just me. When I know I gotta know I have another interview, boom, my energy just come back. So I know my why, the purpose, what this pushing me through. I'm like, man, especially with this dude, man, Caleb. Wow, man, you're gonna see the passion that I have for the podcast, the passion he has for the video box. That's just kills it right there, man. It's just amazing. But hey, nonetheless, let me bring him in here. Hey.
What is going on, Jesus?
What's going on, my buddy? Hey, I'm wearing green. St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day I'm wearing black. I'm definitely not. I'm not in the St. Patrick's Day colors right now.
Yeah, I didn't even know, dude. I in the morning, I just like throw in the shirt and let's get it.
Dude, you got me up past my bedtime here. You're joking about your energy being low for the 7:30 show. I'm normally out of the office by like 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock sometimes. You got me. Went home, I had a snack, and I'm like, all right, I got to go back. Went back to the office, and like, I was about ready to need to like take a nap and lay down, but I'm not. Here I am.
I was gonna do that. Like I was at my friend's house, the one that I did the podcast in the morning, and then he's like, "Hey, dude, let's go out take some content. Let's do some video content. Let's go out there, take some pictures, and I'll edit them and everything." And then we went to lunch together, and then he's like, "Dude, I'm hungry," and I was like, "Dude, we just ate." "No, dude, it's 5:30 already. It's about 3:06." I'm like, "Damn!" I was like, "I gotta be at the studio so I can do the podcast. Like, let's go get some Mexican burgers, eat them back here, and then you head out." And man, it was like nothing but value day. Like I learned so many things. Like I always buy cameras, dude, professional, and I never use them. They're always on my back. Like I always have friends coming, and they are like, "Can y'all use it?" Because I don't know anything about the ISO. But today was a learning experience, dude. Like I loved it, dude. He's like, "This is how you take it. When you see the light," I was like, damn, I don't have nothing to say, but thank you. He's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna keep on teaching you." So I'm like, man. And then before I left, I showed him this. He's like, he just dropped. He's like, damn.
Like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, and I've been happy to have the box showing everybody, and everybody's like, damn,
that's so funny.
Haven't I seen this? I'm like, oh, trust me, this is gonna pick up, man.
Cool, man. I love it. I love it.
Well, now that I have you here, people are watching us, I mean, I'm thank you that you're here. Welcome. Let me see. Welcome, Kata, right there. Boom, man. I want you to start right now from the beginning, Like I say, the beginning is just present yourself and let the audience know who you are, where you came from, all of the little things, and then I just ask them some questions.
Cool. All right. Well, my name's Caleb. I'm the founder of the Video Box Company. I'm based out of St. Louis, Missouri, born and raised here, lived here my whole life. And I mean, I don't know how deep Jesus wants me to go here, but whenever I was a kid, my story was much like a lot of people that that create videos. I started making videos at a very young age. I was probably 9 or 10 years old whenever I first picked up a camera, started making videos, and absolutely fell in love with the process of storytelling and creating content. And this was before we had smartphones and things that made it really easy for us to make content like now. And so back in the day, I was using a like an over-the-shoulder VCR camera that would read the VCR tapes. So
I remember that.
Using an iPhone now, where it's like you just point and shoot and you're done, is so much easier than what we would have to do whenever we were shooting with stuff like that. So long story short, whenever I was a kid, I just absolutely fell in love with the process of making videos. And gradually that brought me through high school and through college. And I started my company whenever I was 16 years old. And it wasn't the Video Box Company. It was a video production company. And I did that for about a decade, where I was making videos and I was going into companies and helping them with their video content and creating content and all of this awesome stuff. And we started to notice a pattern emerge after we would work from company to company to company. And, our company worked probably like many other companies did, where we started with small businesses first because they were just the easiest barrier to entry. And then we gradually started getting larger and larger clientele. And the problem with video production is to do it at a really high level, it's really expensive, right? It's not cheap to have a really high quality video made. So some of these companies would come in and they would pay us 10, 20, 30, 50, 6 figures in some cases to create video content for them. So we would create all this awesome stuff. We would pass it off to them and their team, and we'd never hear from them again. Okay. Until they wanted more stuff created. Okay. But that wasn't the problem. The problem is we were watching them and we wanted to see how they would use what we made. And the problem is that no one was using it at all. We're like, why is this happening? And so we started making some phone calls. We had some really big clients and we would reach out to them, be like, hey, is everything okay with the videos? Is there something wrong? Did you not like the story that we shared? And they're like, no, we loved it. It was awesome. We just don't really know what to do with these. And I'm like, you don't know what to do with them? They're like, yeah, like we kind of put the cart before the horse here. We didn't really have a strategy behind how to use them, and so we just made videos, and now we're like, we'll put it on our website, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like you can't spend all that time, effort, and energy in creating a video and not have a good strategy behind its use, right? And so phone call after phone call, client after client, it was the same story over and over again. Hey, why aren't you using the videos? We don't know how. We don't know where to put them. We don't know how to use them. We don't know how to drive traffic. We don't know how to actually make money with these things. And I got sick and tired of hearing that same old song and dance. And so we transformed our video production company into a video marketing company. And we began exploring, and doing all of the same stuff that a lot of other marketing agencies are doing, right? Facebook ads, Google, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, all of the same stuff, right? And we had a lot of success with it. Not dogging on those platforms at all. They were great. But after years and years of doing this, we eventually bumped into a client who did not have an audience in the online space. Couldn't reach them, okay? And for this particular client, it was a mayor, okay? So like someone who led a community, right? A city, a municipality, a mayor. If you've ever run an ad online, good luck targeting a mayor. We've tried. Very, very difficult to get in front of these guys, especially in the online space, without one of two things happening. Either A, you're spending way too much money trying to get in front of them because you don't really have the targeting tools to say, I want a mayor, right? At least at the date of the time that we were doing this. Maybe in the future they'll have that, but when we were doing it, they didn't. And so we came to the realization that we're like, wow, we're going to have to go offline with our advertising efforts here, right? And that was a little scary at first because we were like, you know, online advertising is way, way more simple. It's the barrier to entry is extremely low because it's like you could go to Facebook and say, I want to spend $5 and like test it and see if it works and run and all that kind of stuff, right? But when you go offline, it's not as easy, right? Or at least it didn't feel like that at first. And so we came to the conclusion that we would have to use those same advertising principles in the offline space. And we're like, okay, we got to go direct mail. Like that's the only other option, right? And so with my background for video and my love for video, because I know video works, I've done it for so long, I was like, we have to use video. We have to incorporate video into this campaign. And long story short, we were like, okay, how do we send someone a video in the mail, right? It's like, well, there's a couple of options, I guess. You could send someone like a little postcard with a little QR code that they could like pull up on their phone, you know, and watch a video that way. Like that's an option, but it's not really that cool. And I'm like, okay, maybe we could send them like an iPad or like a cheap little Kindle Fire tablet or something like that in the mail, you know, where they get it and they're just like really, really impressed by it. And then we kind of bumped into some other issues where we're like, okay, well, if we send them a tablet, then they're going to open it. And then we're expecting them to do too many steps just to get to our video because they're going to have to open it, unlock it, navigate to the Photos app, tap the play button, and then not get distracted by anything else that tablet can do. And hopefully they watch our video, right? We're like, let's scrap that. And it can be perceived as a bribe in certain industries. We're like, let's push that off too. And I was like, I had heard of the concept of these video boxes. And I was like, what if we gave that a try, right? And I was like, let's try it and let's see what happens. And long story short, we ran our very first video box campaign inside of our video marketing company. And what happened next just completely blew our expectations out of the water. Hey, am I going too deep into the story or is this good so far?
Go.
Okay, cool.
You're good.
So after we got the results back, right? We launched the campaign, we built all the videos, we created all the stuff that we needed to create. This is actually the campaign that we ran. Is this box right here? Okay, we sent this box out, and our expectation with us and with our client was that, you know, direct mail, if you do a really, really good job, I mean, you're just crushing it, between like 2 and 3 and 5% response rates are just blowing it up. You're blowing it out of the water, right? So for every 100 postcards or letters that you send, if you get 2 to 5% to respond, you're doing great, right? And so we were like if we send one of these, right, where they open it up and this is really cool mailer, right? Maybe we could get 10%, right? Like that's really like those would be really, really good numbers, right? And we're like, yeah, I think 10% is probably a reasonable number, right? And there was not really any data that we could pull from whenever we were kind of doing this because nobody's doing it. And so it's like, there wasn't like this big old pool of people where I'm like, yeah, they did it and they did it and they did it. And like, here's all of this data. It's not something that's like a new concept, but there's not a lot of people that have done it that have shared their results. And so we were kind of flying in blind the first time. So we launched this campaign expecting to get a 10% response rate, you know, on a good day. And 60% of the mayors who received one of these boxes responded. And they called and they had a conversation with the salesperson in an effort to set up a time to accept the offer that my client had made them in that box. And it completely blew our entire expectation out of the water whenever we did that. And it blew my client's expectations out of the water too, so much in fact that I got a call and they were like, hey, don't send any more boxes. And I'm like, what do you mean don't send any more boxes? Like, we haven't even sent all of them yet. What are you talking about? And they're like, too many people are responding. We're not ready to handle this yet. Like, pump the brakes here. We don't have the manpower to actually go out and do all of it was a facility needs assessment, basically, where they were having men go out to into the field and doing this stuff. We don't have the manpower right now. Don't send anymore. Put this on pause. And I was like, heck freaking yes. Marketing that worked so good that I got my client calling me saying, shut it off. It's too much. You've overwhelmed us. And we hadn't even sent all the boxes out yet. And so long story short, that's why I love these things. They work so freaking good when it comes to reaching, impressing, and selling your dream level customer or prospect. That we took our video marketing company and we kind of merged it in with a new entity, which is the Video Box Company, where that's all we do now is we help business owners and entrepreneurs really do two things, and that's open doors that they see to be locked. Right? It's if you're on the other end of your screen right now and you're someone who feels like you have a door that you just cannot get open, if you have a client that feels unreachable to you, but you know that your product or your service or your idea is so good that if you could just get in the room with them and pitch it, that they would totally buy it, right? But you feel like that door is just locked tight, right? And all that you're trying to do is land an appointment with them. That's what we help people do in our company. We help entrepreneurs and business owners open locked doors and land appointments with their dream level prospects. And we do it using these. So kind of a long-winded explanation there. But
it's all good because I know when we talked about it and you told me this, I was like just blown away. I was like, man, something like this that, like you said, it's been there, but they didn't do no marketing. The people that had these boxes before, and you captivated that moment and said, why not? Nothing's going to hurt. If it doesn't go for 10% or anything, we can do another campaign and we'll see. But that first campaign just rocked and rolled and you're like, oh, damn, let's just hit it.
Yep, you got it.
Let's just hit it. Look, I'll have a questions that like my first podcast guy asked me to ask you. But before we go through that, I'm going to ask you a question. Let's get back in time when you were a little kid. Do you remember anything that you now know and be like, damn, when I was that age, damn, I was a leader already. I was inspiring myself to be something that I am right now. Because those things are like, coming back to me today. Like when I was talking to the guy in the morning when I was at his house, and he's like, damn, that's cool. Because you realize something that you had when you were little and you didn't even know that into like right now. And like those moments are pretty cool. Like, let me ask you, I'll probably bring you to the moment that you remember right now. Like, damn.
Yeah. Man. So that's kind of a hard question to answer. I would say probably, so I was the oldest of seven kids. We're all really, really close. And whenever we were, when we were kids, I was actually homeschooled for a season of my life. So between second grade and fifth grade, me and all of my siblings were homeschooled. God bless my mother, because I don't know how she did it with 7 kids homeschooling all of us at the same time. But I think because of that kind of enabled us to get an education in a little more creative manner, because we weren't just going to school and doing the same exact routine that everybody else was doing. It was actually my mom, right, who was teaching us every day, and she would do things a little differently, right? There was a little more creative. There was a little more leeway in kind of what we were allowed to do throughout the day. And one of the things that we would do is make videos, right? And so as a kid, it's really funny, like looking back on it. But the thing that ultimately propelled me to where I am today when it comes to creating content was using that big over-the-shoulder VCR camera that I found stashed in my parents' closet. And we would make just these terrible, looking back on them, videos that we just so enjoyed, right? We just fell in love with the whole process of creating videos. And we would like create little mock Star Wars videos. We would create our own little short films that we would write and direct and create and shoot and all that kind of stuff. And, I'd say probably looking back, that was probably the thing that kind of really got me started into the direction that I'm on now. Kind of was that moment. So I don't know if that answers your question or not.
Yeah, dude, that's cool because you brought up that big camera, and in my mind, I was like, I wish that he had it right here with him.
Dude, it's still at my parents' house. I should totally like get it and go like hang it up on the wall or something.
Because I do remember those big. That's when I'm a visual person. When you said that, I was like,
Yeah.
I imagine yourself, in that, but living the life, enjoying that part.
Dude, the crazier thing about them cameras, at least my parents, they didn't have a battery. And so it had to be plugged into the wall at all times. And so whenever you're 9 or 10 years old, and you got brothers and a sister who are much younger than you running around and they unplug that thing while you're recording, makes you kind of mad because you just lose everything, right? So we'd run around and we'd have maybe, I don't know, 10 feet that we could walk in any direction before that thing would unplug from the wall. It's like, again, we are so blessed to have these things now. This completely made everything so much easier when it comes to making and creating videos and content and stuff. Just changed the game 100%. But that's a different.
Go ahead. Don't just because you don't have a camera or anything like professional, but you have this. Damn, start with this.
Yeah.
It don't matter if it's Android or Apple. The cameras on both of them are really good video wise. You already know you can be creative with those, man.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I have a lot of people that reach out to me who are like, "What's the best camera? What camera should I get?" Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, the one you got in your pocket. What do you mean? What do you mean? What camera should you get? It's like these things are so good right now that this is just a tool, right?
Yeah.
It's like, if you know how to use this tool, you can make this look just as good as that camera that's sitting right over here, right? Like that's a $5,000 or $6,000 setup behind me right there. It's like, but because they're both just tools, all it takes is the knowledge on how to use the tools, and you can make this look just like that, right?
Just a little bit of lighting here, a little bit of here, good to go.
Exactly.
And that's amazing. When people ask me the same thing, I say, "You already got it in your pocket," and they like just looked at me weird, like, "I don't have a camera in my pocket." I'm like, "Yeah, you do."
Yep.
And like your phone, but you gotta be, like you said, the first thing you gotta be knowledgeable and know how to use it. There's so many ways. Locate this way, slow motion, but people don't want to take that time. They're like, "Oh, hell no." It's the same thing if you use a professional camera. You gotta do the same thing. Yeah. You gotta edit.
Yep. Same process.
Yeah, that's what I learned today with those pictures and stuff. I was like, because I just recently got that Canon, the EOS or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's been in my backpack, dude, since I bought it new. I haven't used it. It's just been there.
Yep.
Like I always do. I always keep on there. I was like, I'm gonna use it tomorrow. Because he's good at that. But when today I got that lesson, I was like, forget that, man. I saw the pictures and the quality. I was like, that camera has that shit. I'm like, I know that, a phone, like I said, we take pictures, but a camera, that's what it's meant to be, to take pictures or that kind of video. Like, man, I got to get up to it.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, man. But let's get to the nitty gritty. I know that he asked me, and this is good if you want to answer, if not, because I want people to know, that it's not for everybody, and that the campaign, you can do it yourself, you teach them, or your team can do it for you, right? And
Correct.
I want to make sure that the people know, like, what is the investment that you got to make this? Because I was telling him, I didn't ask him when I talked to him one-on-one, but I'm going to ask him on the show. And because it's not a game. Like, if you really want to scale up high ticket prices, it has to be, just like everything else, it's an investment.
Yep. So good question. I hear this one all day, every single day. It's the most common question that I get is, how much do these things cost, right? How much does the video box cost, right? And the way I answer it is I tell people to do what I like to call the boxing math, okay? And the boxing math is my fun way of just saying, figuring out if it makes sense for you, right? I'll tell you who these are not for, okay? Video boxes are not for you if you don't sell something that's expensive and you don't stand to make a whole lot of money whenever you sell it, and if you're not already doing some kind of marketing, right? And I say that for two reasons. Number one, if you're selling something cheap, you probably can't afford the cost of doing the advertising, right? If you're selling t-shirts and you only stand to make 20 or 30 bucks, you're not going to cover the cost of the video box. Doesn't make sense to do it. Stay far away from these things. Go run a Facebook ad or something, right? The second piece, if you're not already doing marketing of some kind, generally what I see in my experience, and it's a silly thing, people that aren't spending money on advertising, they'll reach out and they're like, oh, I want to do one of these. And it's like, why would you do one of these if you're not already spending marketing dollars somewhere else, right? And I'll tell you what happens on the end of that phone call every single time is we get to the very end and they never buy, right? And it's not because they don't see the value in this. It's because they don't see the value in doing marketing, period, right? Somewhere there's a disconnect, right? And so I always tell people, if you don't sell something that's expensive and you're not already doing marketing, go do something else, right? Stay far away from these things. Who this is for is someone who is selling something that's high ticket, right? You have a high ticket sale. You have a, what I like to call a high ticket relationship, right? Where maybe you're not after a sale, right? Maybe you're after a very big relationship with someone that could pay off in the future, right? For something else, right? Think about something like this, right? If I wanted to get on the Joe Rogan podcast, right? I'm not trying to sell that guy anything. I'm just trying to reach him and impress him. And I am trying to sell him something. I'm just not trying to sell him a product or service. I'm trying to sell him me, right? And so if you're reaching into some place like that, this is perfect, right? If you're reaching into like that C-suite level, you stand to make a whole lot of money, right? 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 25, $100,000 or more. These are for you, right? I can tell you all of the clients that we work with, they sell expensive stuff, right? It doesn't make sense to use one of these if you don't sell expensive stuff or you don't stand to have a really good relationship that gets built from one of them, right? And so on average, just to kind of give you an idea on cost of these things, one of these things, you know, it's like a sliding scale. It's just like anything else in this world, right? The more you order, the cheaper it gets per box, right? For say 100 of these things, and 100 is the most common starting place for a number of reasons, okay? Because what we teach people to do is not go, cool, let me get 5 of these things and I'm gonna just test them and see if they work. You ain't gonna, that's not a test. It's just not. Would you go run a Facebook ad and only put it in front of 5 people and then at the end of that test go, oh, it worked, or oh, it didn't work? No, that's not how this game works either. Same exact thing. This is a numbers game. Okay, marketing, period, is a numbers game, right? And so we always tell people, start with 100 of these things, okay? It's a small scale test that helps you gauge whether or not it's gonna work for you or not. Typically after your first 100, you know, hey, it's working great, or hey, we need to tweak something in our campaign, right? For 100, you're looking at about $55 per video box that you actually send out, right? So hefty investment if you're not selling something that's expensive or you don't stand to make a really big relationship with somebody, right? So right there, that deters a lot of people from ever wanting to try to use one of these things because they're like, $55? What? And I'm like, okay. My question back is, if your dream client isn't worth $55 to get in their hands, how much are they worth?
That's true.
Right? Hey, Jesus, if you stand to make $10,000, if you sell your client, $55 isn't worth getting in their hands to talk to them. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Maybe it should be more like $20,000 or $30,000, right? If you stood to make that much, is $55 worth it to get in front of them? Right. So you kind of see kind of where I'm going with this. But it really just kind of comes down to the, you know, the things that people place value in, essentially, right? Some people, they can't get past that, right? They're like, $55. It's like, but then on the flip side, they'll pay $55 on a Facebook ad, right, to acquire a client or other means of advertising and things of that nature. So anyway, it's kind of a roundabout answer, but
no, this is good because that's what I wanted everybody to know, that it's like everything else, but you put it in perspective, not for like just the box, but anything else that you want to go do with somebody, a business. It's always like that. It's the value that they're giving you, and then you're like, oh, it's too expensive for this, but it's not what it is that you're giving. It's the experience that you already have, that you have, I have, they have. Because you can go and do maybe somebody that does a 5-hour work, and you have 10 years more, and you can go out there for 30 minutes, and people are like, damn, I gotta pay you $5,000 for 30 minutes. It's not about the 30 minutes. It's all the experience that you have.
Right.
And
the other thing too with these things is it's like, you got to think about what your competition's doing. Right. And everybody's kind of got a different story to tell there, but it's like most of the people that I work with, they're competitors, they're all doing the same stuff, right? Everybody's on Facebook, everybody's on Instagram and Google and YouTube, and everybody's doing the same thing, right?
You got Clubhouse.
Yeah, I'm not on Clubhouse yet, but I'm working my way in there. I'm still feeling my way through it. But it's one of those things where it's like, when that happens, where the market is just so saturated with everybody doing the same exact stuff, it gets noisy, right? I'm sure you see it. I see it all the time. We're being marketed to all the time, right?
Yep.
And you start to just, you put horse blinders on, right? You're like, nah, that's an advertisement. Nope, not looking at that. No, I don't want to see that. And so you got to do something that cuts through the noise and the clutter of all of that to get someone to go, whoa, okay, that's different. Tell me more, right? Let's have a conversation about this, right? And that's part of the reason why I'm so gung-ho about these things. I think they're the perfect tool for the chapter that we're in as a society, where attention is so hard to come by. It's so hard to grab and hold on to and keep, especially in the digital space, that this is a different angle that you can attack a customer at now, that it reaches them a little better, it impresses them, and a lot of times it invites and it opens the door for you to pave the path and to actually get in there and sell them whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, right? So,
whoa! The lights went up. Nah. No, and you're right. You got a big point on that, and that's what I was like. You captured my attention because I saw one of your sponsors. You were running an ad. That's how I saw this.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold on. And I clicked it and I went in and I saw the whole thing. I was like, video box. In my mouth, everybody's doing something and it just grabbed the attention. I was like, nobody's doing something like this.
Right.
Like, everybody's doing it. We're coaching or anything. You're doing your thing. You're probably throwing a hook point different that it works. Don't get me wrong. If you do it the right way, it's going to work and you'll get some leads and close them. But this was like, like I stop in a break, it's like, right. And I got so happy. Like when I saw it, I was like, man, I got to go find him and find him. That's what I did, man. When I see things, like you said, it's like everything is like a competition. Like everybody sees it. But when you see something that's kind of going to disrupt that, and it's going to be something that's going to be there for years, just like Facebook, how it started. It was face thing, and you could just see who's hot or not, and then it just kept on evolving, and look what it is now. There's mostly advertisement and sponsorships, and now, boom, you bring something like this. You're like, that's the next big thing. It's gonna get there a couple of years, and then as you're the founder, you're gonna things different, and you're gonna be, I can do this now, can do that now, can scale up faster, and you're in it. Just like everything else, like you said, YouTube.
Yeah, it's all the same thing.
Yeah,
it's all the same.
Yep. Look what happened to Clubhouse. It came in. I didn't even know when it came out. People were like, Clubhouse. And I was like, what the hell is this? And then they said only iPhones. And I was like, what? Only iPhones? Yeah. And they have to invite you. And I was like, what? So I can download it, but I cannot use it? Nope. Yep. Somebody has to invite you. I'm like, okay, that's a different, different thing. It's like people go there. Like I haven't used it. Like you said, like yourself, they invite me. And then I go and they put me as a moderator to speak. And I was like, I saw this as an opportunity. I was like, damn, we can grow a community here. Yeah. You can build your own little community and everybody's there. The Rio Bradley, Grant Cardone, all of them. And you listen to them right there. It's like, this is good to learn and write and send them out to, your place, to your Facebook or anything, or just build a better relationship with them instead of just pitching, being in there pitching. Yeah. And I was like, this is good. And I'm like, and my friend in the morning, he's like, dude, we got to start doing some Clubhouse. Like, set just a little day, because I know they say it's addicted. And I know I heard people being there for 5-10 hours. I'm like, I will not be able to be 5-10 hours in that, man. That's like, I said, it's not like I was saying it's a waste of time, but it's like, man, we're out there doing all this and like to be in and you have to be in on the phone. I was like, no, at least put in 20 minutes and build some community. That'd be good. I mean, I'm down for that.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, but this right here, dude, is just like, man, I still like out of words, man. Like I'm carrying it everywhere, man. And when I just open it, and people are like, and I said, hold on, and they're like, why? I was like, they're like, what? Did he just say your name? I was like, and then I tell them, you know what you could do with this? You could be in there and say,
You could be in there.
and I'm like, hey, what's up, Bob? Man, I'm happy to reach you. Or you can send somebody of your clients that you already have, that they're high ticket, and you send them to tell them, thank you for being my customer. I'm sending you blah, blah, blah. And there's like a free gift card there or something for lunch.
Yep.
I'm like, how are you gonna change the game with that? Like, there's so many ideas that you can use it. And they're like, they looked at me like crazy. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't get it yet. No, okay. I think I'm too excited about it.
Yeah, there was a guy who I saw use one of these, and I actually talk about it inside of my my coaching program, where he used one, and it was just the perfect execution of like a direct response campaign with a video box, where the outside of the box. So you see how mine says "Think inside the box," right?
Yeah.
The outside of his box said, "There's $100 bill inside this box for 90 seconds of your time." Right. Ooh. And so you read that and you go, what? And you open it and $100 bill falls out. Right. And you're like, this guy sent me $100 bill with this box. And it does a couple things. Right. Most people will watch these when they get them anyway. But if you put $100 bill in one, you can guarantee that they're going to give you 90 seconds of their time and be like, okay, this person is serious about getting my attention. I'm going to watch their video, right? And then you let your video do the selling for them. But that was one of my favorite. You mentioned like putting a gift card in one. That was my favorite execution of using one of these things that I've seen so far, is the guy who did that. It just blew my mind whenever I seen it. And I was like, I got to try that.
Being an entrepreneur, you got to be creative. Yes, you got the campaign, but you got to be like, oh man, I can use it in so many ways. Like, I already have all these clients and I send them just a postcard. Now I'm changing it through a video box, man, with a gift card, or it's their birthday. And thank you for being here with me for 7 months. And you throw me in a video. You know what they're going to do? Like you said, can you send me some of those bit bucks so I can show them to my other friends? Boom. There's the money right there. Yep. That's where you said you ain't gonna invest 100 of those. That's $5,500. But if you can close one or two, or shit, even if you say 5%, then you already triple your.
Yeah, man. It's one of those things. So this client in particular was a very big contracting company. So I think they were doing like 300 or 400 million a year. Ooh. And so if they land one of these clients, it's an upwards of pretty much a minimum of $500,000 and up. Right. So we're talking big $1 million contracts. If you land one, right, one pays for the whole thing 100 times over. Right.
100 times. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, and I've got another guy right now who he's a real estate agent who he wants to send these to, I think it's expired listings. And he actually has a coaching program that he wants to send them out to. And again, he lands one expired listing. Right. And he targets bigger homes. Right. Where he'll make $10,000 to $15,000, pays for the whole campaign, right? And that's just if one of them land, right? So imagine if you send out 100 boxes, what if you get 20 of them to respond, right? What if you get 10 of them to respond? What if only 5 of them respond, right? The numbers are still insanely good. That's why it's so important that you sell something that's expensive before you use one of these things, right? Because it's like, if you don't sell something that's expensive, the numbers don't work, right? But like for like his situation, like I hopped on a call with him and I didn't have to sell him nothing. He was just like, yeah, I could do this. And he's doing all the math for me. He's like, if I just get one, that's like $10,000 to $15,000 to $20,000. Like that'd pay for the whole thing. That's worth it. Yeah, we got to do this. I'm like, see, when you start doing the math and you realize it's like, wow, like, that does make sense, right? It's like, and then when you start thinking through it even further, and it's like, okay, let's say we send 100 of them and 10% respond, right? And only 20% buy. That's 2. But what if you send 200 or 300 of these things? What if you send 500, right? Or you're trying to cast a really wide net and you send 1,000 of them, right? And you get 20% to respond or 30% to respond, right? It's just, the numbers just get crazier and crazier. And then you start bumping into fulfillment issues and stuff, ideally, where your marketing is working so good that it's like, pump the brakes. Wait, this
Like
is
your
working
first
too
campaign.
good. Exactly.
And that's when you saw, like, when you saw that moment and you grasped that, it's like, man, 60%, and then the next ones and the next campaigns, and you're like,
yeah, we started just kind of going ham with these things, and this isn't all of them, but we started sending a whole bunch more of these things for ourselves. We had other clients that wanted to do it and kind of reach out to us, and it just got to the point where a lot of people started doing it, and we're still kind of seeing more results pour in just from that original one that we did here. And some of these, which is unfortunate, we don't actually get the results back because some of our clients don't share the results with us on the back, which is fine, whatever. But you know, just what we've seen with them, what we've seen for ourselves, it's just been insanely awesome. It's been so good. Just kind of the results that we've gotten from these campaigns. It's been awesome.
Damn. And it's a good thing that if the people that, you know, gonna invest on it and they're like, hey man, I don't really want to do it, you don't want to go through the coaching program and do it, y'all can do it for them too.
Yeah, so we've actually got we just completed a big project for one of our done for you clients where we actually made them 3 different boxes. And of those 3 boxes, the only thing that changes is kind of the inside flap and kind of what's on the back. And they actually commissioned our team to, this was a pretty big project. They had us create 3 different boxes. We're doing 3 different videos that our video production team is actually creating all of the videos for them. We're running the entire campaign where basically all they have to do is pick up the phone when people call. That way they don't have to learn how to build a box or shoot their video or send these things and launch the campaign and run the back end. It's just, we take care of that entire process for them, which they really like. So
that's good. And that's what I tell people, because now as entrepreneurs, sometimes we're running a lot of things like, and I don't got time. I mean, I will learn it, but then I have to push it, and then I got to do this. And like, that's when I said it's better invested. They're the ones that know how to do it. You're just, like you said, I'm just going to wait for the call or emails or whatever it is that you're pushing out through. And that's like freaking amazing, dude. Especially when you said the guy with the $100, the number one thing was he put up hook point in there.
Yeah.
Like anything.
Yeah, same exact. Like I told you, I started in the digital marketing space, and all of those principles translate over into these things. Same thing. It's pure direct response advertising is kind of how we use them, at least. Same principles you use online are the same principles you use inside of these boxes, right? Russell Brunson, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him or not.
Yeah, I got his book in here somewhere.
Yeah, a lot of people love his hook, story, offer framework, right? Where it's like, hook them, tell them a story, make them an offer, right? It's just like a very clean cut, simple thing. And you can do the same exact thing with these, right? Hook, just tell them a story inside, give them an offer, put the offer on the back, right? It's like, it's all the same. Yeah, I haven't read Hook Point yet. That's that one where they threw the football through the screen.
Remember we talked about it?
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm like, the same thing. It's like storytelling, hook point, using, he even mentions there, it's not only one hook point. You got to try a lot of these different hook points. And the same way, he's like, if y'all don't want to do it, the whole team can create you, the whole team, the copywriting stuff, stuff that it's already working, just like the campaigns you do.
Yep, exactly.
And that stuff to me is like, that's very good, because somebody else is taking their time. They know how to, they created that baby. You created this, they know. And us, you're like, oh, I'm gonna do it fast. And then you won't see, that's when the things start. Oh, it's a scam. It didn't work. Because you said, I want to do it. When you know that you don't have time. It's not that you don't have time, but you don't have that initiative that I'm actually do this thing, right? And you just like boom, 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 and send it. And you're like, nothing works.
Yeah, that was a huge thing that we used to bump into a lot of, where people wouldn't quite grasp that concept. And it's like, the way I always explain it to people is, sending a video box, running a video box campaign is just like any other form of advertising. Facebook, Google, YouTube, LinkedIn, postcards, flyers, whatever, right? If you don't know how to do it, it's not going to work, right? So you could go dump $10, $15, $20,000 in Facebook ads, but if you didn't do it right, it ain't going to work, right? And then you're going to be wagging your finger going, Facebook ads don't work. That's a scam. Blah blah blah. And it's like, no, that's really not it. It's you didn't execute any type of strategy properly, right? Same goes for any of the other platforms that you can advertise on, right? If you don't know what you're doing, it's not going to work, right? Same thing goes for these, right? I always tell people, like, just because this is a cool advertising piece does not mean that you get a pass on the actual marketing of this, right? If you get the marketing and the messaging and the video and all of the other attributes that are related to these things wrong, it's not going to work, like, period. It's just not. Like, that's just all there is to it. And it's the same thing across the board with all of the forms of advertising. If you don't know what you're doing, it ain't going to work for you, period.
Yeah. And that goes for everything, man. Like, if you try a new skill or you join an MLM network marketing and you don't see the money, it's not them, it's you.
Yeah.
You got to put in the work. You got to build those connections, those relationships, and push through. If not, then that's going to be like, just like me. I joined so many MLM networks before, like back in the day, and I never said it was a scam. I was like, man, it was me. I didn't take action. I blame me. I was like, why would I blame somebody? Why would I blame the company that I know it works? But I got to put the front in. I got to go out there and work it. I got to learn, have mentors, coaches. But everybody wants it like, oh, man, damn, that person is $20,000 a month. I can do that. It's not hard. When you get in there and you're like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Why? You got to put in the work or work smart, leverage work with some others, and everybody wins. You just got to be knowledgeable on your skill and put it out there, man. And some won't understand and some won't, but that's fine. It's like we said, it's not for everybody.
Yep. 100%.
Dude, I'm that having you here and knowing the people, that listening and watching it, and the people that are still going to share this and the replay after that and learn something new and the value of the box, like put it in there and tell them about the investment and think about how it is. All of the stuff you said is real. And there's, like I said, it's a numbers game. Somebody will understand this, somebody will not, and that's fine. But there's the connections that I got and the people that I know, they are already running high tickets, like wholesaling houses, and they're already making 80, 100K a month. So for them, this like I said, that's what I saw this. I'm like, man, I want to be in this for a long term. I know that if we can work together and I can send you these people and you sell them, and we'll all work together and we all win. That's what it is. That's what I tell people. Sometimes it might not be you that gonna get this because you're not selling a high ticket. That's fine. You be smart and be like, how can I get in there and help them? Dog, if I have this good idea, why not push them out? Why not start telling people about this? That's what I'm doing. Trust me, I'm sooner or later I'm gonna be sending you all these people, man.
Send them on over. Let's build them a box of boxes.
Yes, I'm cool with that because I want them to know about this. That like you said, they are already running these ads, and they're not doing it themselves. They're already paying an ad marketing company that they know how to do the work. So leads are coming in for them. Now it's them that they gotta close the deal. It's not the now it's not the agency's fault. It's like if you don't close the deal, that's because you're not good at it, man.
Yeah.
And they're good. Every time I go out there, they are closing deals. I'm like, I know who I'm gonna go to. And this, look at my boy Christian. He's the one that I did in the morning, digital and e-commerce. He's gonna be interested in this. That's when I went in the morning. I showed him this. He was sitting in the couch with me. He's like, dude. And he has a lot of more than me. He has more connections that people are willing to do this. So I'm like, man, in my head, I'm like, let's get this. I said, I'm gonna talk to Caleb in one-on-one later on and see how we can work it. And we all win.
I love it. Yep.
This is an awesome. Congratulations. Yeah. Thank you, Christian. I thought you were taking a nap, Christian. I left his house. He was like, dude, I'm gonna take a little nap, man. I'm tired. I'm like, no, man, don't tell me that. I still got to go out there and do the 7:30.
Yep. I love it, dude.
But I love this, man. And this be, the beginning of something, good that we're going to push out there. And like I said, man, I told him, man, I feel like I'm a kid with a new toy. Because he saw it when I'm like, every time I open this and show people, I'm like, wait, hey, Jesus, and you say that shit just breaks it. They're like, can I do that? And that's when I told them, hey, this is an investment. It's not for everybody. And I explained it the same way. And they're like, oh, okay. The people that I know that they don't, I know they're not selling high ticket. So I say that's not for you.
But that's actually the thing that you're most impressed by about that box. Is one of the secrets to making these campaigns work as effectively as they do. And that's the personalization aspect of them. Because when people receive something that's some form of marketing that you put in their face that is directly created for them, it takes them aback, and they're like, whoa, right? The same way that it takes you back, and you're like, he said my name, right? Because it's like there is an underlying principle of invested time that you recognize, and people recognize when they receive a box and they go, wow, he took the time to speak directly to me in my situation and put this in a box and send it directly to me, and stuff like the little Post-it note here. That's another one of the little hacks, right? This is actually a hack that we use to kind of get past gatekeepers, to get to the decision maker. This is actually one of the things that we did in our last campaign to get the secretary to, because most of the secretaries go through the mail whenever you're sending these to people who have secretaries, right? That's part of their job. And so the idea with that says for Jesus's eyes only, right, on the Post-it note. And so and it's handwritten, and that's real handwriting, right? Yep. And so they open the box and they're like, oh no, this is something personal. I better go put this on the boss man's desk, right? And it's worked every time that we've done it, because it's not fear mongering, but there is a sense of fear of almost like, this is something personal that I'm not supposed to be opening. They're supposed to open it. I better go give it to them, right? And in many industries, that is the hardest part, is getting it past that gatekeeper and landing on the desk of the decision maker. And so, personalization coupled with sticky notes and other little hacks that we use are some of the secrets to actually making these things run effectively. And so I think that it's super interesting, kind of just seeing, you're like, oh my gosh, he said my name. Wait, listen, he says Jesus, right? It's like, and it makes me wonder, because that's the one bad part about these things, is I can't see the reaction of a customer or a prospect when they get one, right? Mm-hmm. And so it makes me wonder, it's like, how many other people they get that and they go, whoa, right? And I've talked to quite a few people who have received a box from us. They're like, that was so cool how you said my name in the beginning, and like, oh, and like all this stuff. But you don't typically get to see it firsthand. But in my opinion, I'm of the belief that that's part of why these things work so well. It's not just because it's a cool marketing piece. It's because it's personal, right? When you can make marketing personal and speak directly to someone, they pay more attention to it.
And it helps your brand too. Like, I mean, you're doing the campaign, but that's helping your brand, because they're like, damn, I seen him doing ads and this and that, but this is something different. And then you got the little USB, to charge it. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Yep.
And then, guys, maybe next time we can even watch the Snyder Cuts Batman.
Yeah, load the Batman movie onto it.
That's I'm saying it because it's coming out this Thursday. I can't wait to see that.
Yep. I heard about it. I haven't even seen the first Justice League, so I'm gonna have to catch up on that first one before I watch the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
I heard, not to derail our conversation, but I heard that I think he had a child that passed away in the middle of the filming of that movie, and so he pulled himself away from the project. And a lot of people didn't like the first Justice League, so they were like, "We want the Snyder Cut. We want the Snyder Cut." And so that's kind of what happened. If I'm of the understanding.
Have you seen the intro for this one from the Snyder Cut?
No, I haven't seen hardly any of the DC universe stuff.
Marvel.
Yeah, I'm a Marvel guy. I love all the Marvel movies.
I love Marvel. But when I saw that Snyder Cut and they showed the little, I was like, what the hell? I mean, they should have waited in time, let him come back. Even the movie was gonna be, for months. But his idea is different than the Marvel guy that came in here and helped finish. It's not the same mentality.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna have to catch up on it. I haven't seen any of them. I haven't seen any of them movies. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. Who knows?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I really don't watch TV, but when like you said, sometimes you just wanna just concentrate. Like, you know what? Let me open the Netflix or the HBO, and I was like, I'll watch a couple of episodes of whatever it is that it looks good. But
Yeah.
every time I watch something, I always take it in consideration that I'm watching it. And then I'm already thinking like, how can it help me on the business, or how can I help somebody? I don't know why, man. Like I have
Yeah.
like two minds. Like I'm actually paying attention to the movie, and I'm paying attention to like, I have like my notebook. Oh shit, I can help, man. It looks bad in the
Yeah.
movie, but I can twist it and it can work
Right.
for me. And when I
Yeah.
tell this to people, they're like, how can you do that? I can barely pay attention to the movie. You do two things at once. I'm like, I'm telling you, I do not even know myself. How am I doing
Right.
it?
Right.
I'm
Right.
like, call me nuts. If God give me that gift to be like that, I'm good, man, because I'm paying attention and building notes for helping myself or helping somebody out there.
I love it. That's
Oh,
funny.
yeah. The last thing I want to know before we go, if you can throw out something positive for the audience that is watching, like I know we're entrepreneurs, we're creative, but people out sometimes think that, we're already making a lot of money, or because we have rented a studio, we're in a nice place. They, trying to be positive on them that it's a struggle, it's hard because you started with the video marketing and all of this stuff. Sometimes you even want to give up, but it's just I don't want to say like it's in us, but I don't know. It might be in us since we were little. It's not that we were born with it, but through the time we just learned different things, and we were like that crazy odd person out of the school, and like just give them something that hey man, something positive, and that they can engage if they're starting a business right now. A lot of them are because of COVID and everything.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to use the stimulus check on the right time. Let me use this to start something or invest on something instead of buying new shoes and new hat.
Yeah. Oh man, put me on the spot here.
Right?
Okay. So not to go too deep down a different rabbit trail, but I'm a man of faith, and I believe that when God created us, and he created everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he created the animals and the plants and the sky and the ocean and and space and all of the stars and all this stuff, right? And then he looked at us and he created us. And of everything that he created, we are the only creation that he made that he gave the innate ability to visualize something and create what we have seen in our mind. There's nothing else that exists that is able to create things the way that we create things. And so I look at that as almost an obligation. Whenever you become aware of the fact that you are one of the only creatures in existence on this planet that has the God-given, godlike ability to create something, to take nothing and create something, you have to use it. Like, we are creators, right? We are people who take things and have ideas and concepts and visions, and we're like, I see how all the puzzle pieces could fit, and go and create whatever that idea is, right? And so for me, I feel like that's my calling, is to be a creator the way that God created me to be a creator, right? And so, entrepreneurship is hard. Like, I mean, it's really, really hard. Like I've been playing this game for since I was 16, and I'm 27 now. I'm still a really young dude. It's got a long way to go, but it has been a hard road. And I get the struggle that some people can feel and go through. And there's times where you feel like giving up, right? But the thing that always kind of keeps me clinging on to and keeps me going is the idea that God created me to create, and I'm going to create until the day that I die, right? And so even when it's hard, I have this thing in my office here, this big sign from Iconic, and it's something that I hold tight to. It says persist, because a lot of times, right before you're about to find success in whatever it is that you're doing, like, that's the point where you're just like, I just want to give up. I just want to be done. Like, I don't want to do this anymore, right? But if you just persist and you just push on and you keep pushing past the obstacles and you keep pushing past the things that are stopping you, you ultimately find success. I've heard it said before, it's like the only people who lose in life are the people who stopped and they gave up. They stopped creating. They stopped being creators and bringing value into the world, right? And so, yeah, I feel like I'm botching this, but I hope that ends us on a positive.
You ended it up with a bang. Because we are.
Yeah.
We are. And I seen you, you know, the music, and you play the guitar, right? Or what's the guitar?
Yeah, I play guitar, I play piano, I play drums, I sing, I do a little bit of bass guitar, do a little bit of everything.
And that's good though, because you're out there in the community, going in the church and doing the things that it is what we gotta do. It doesn't have to be the same ways, but live life.
Yeah,
no matter.
It doesn't matter if you're a person of faith or not. Regardless, use your ability to create. Like we are creators. All of us, humankind, is creators. Like we are called to be creators, right? It's like use that. Like I don't care if you believe in God or not. You're still a creator, right? Go out there and create something. Go create something, right? That brings value to somebody else's life. It's like,
I know, man. It's beautiful how you know, when I see it, I'm like, damn, God created us in His own image. Damn, all that power that we have, that power, man. We have His DNA in us, like, and we're not even using all the potential on us to create more. Not only that, but to give that value to others and make that circle go. Create, like you said, we create our own noise to actually help and actually be there, not for the outside noise. The outside knows that it's been there since centuries. And I'm already talking about, you know, already know politicians and this and that. It's always going to be there. And if you stick to that, it's like you just program for that. And I was like a matrix. You know, whoop, I'm the rabbit that got out of the matrix. I'm like, no, man. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm believing in God. I know He's still here. Even if people don't believe that He's still here, He's still here.
Yep.
And the power of praying, whew, that's another different story for next time. Because I seen it. Even the manifestation stuff, I seen it in a couple of days. I've been manifesting things that are like the little smallest things, but those are the ones that matter the most. They're like happening. And I was like, I was like, this is crazy. I said this and it actually happened. And the next day I said this and it actually happened. I'm like, I must be doing something right. And I gotta keep on going in the same path.
Yep.
And being me. God created you as you. God created me as me. I ain't gonna copy nobody. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be my own character. It's like a cartoon, my own little cartoon character. That's what people tell me when I'm like, you're just like a little character from like, but that's me, man. And you're gonna get me. If you meet me in real life, that's me without that energy. I'm like, I'm gonna push it through. No matter if I have that 5% fuel, man, it's gonna be 105%. And I'll tell you, I don't even know how I get it, man. Look at this, man. 8 o'clock already, and I still have this energy.
Man, it is already 8 o'clock, isn't it?
Dude, yeah. And it's okay. I mean, I'm about to head out after this. Well, I'm gonna finish up my dinner because I didn't finish it, and then I'll head out. Then I head out because I got a good weekend. I got to go to Austin this weekend, so tomorrow I'll come back and do a little bit more work, and then just and I got the interview on Friday, so I got to come back here Friday. Yeah. For the second interview. But man, I'm thankful that you were here, and it's not gonna be the last time. And I know we're gonna push something. I'll get back into you. Did you send me your number? No, right?
I think I did. If I didn't, shoot me a message and I'll
send you a message. Yeah. And then we'll talk one-on-one. I guess next week we'll make something up and we'll talk one-on-one, like last time on Zoom, and see what we can work out. You know, because I mean, to tell you the people that I already know that they're ready to invest in this, we got a chance to get in, dude. Like this year, I just want to be helpful, more, you know, doing a lot of things with Christ within me, and actually flying around, going over there to those people like yourself and meet you in real life and be there and create more value together with you and the people that I met in Minnesota, and just kind of like keep on the stuff like that, what Christ did. You know, he 12 apostles, they walk, but I'm gonna fly. I mean, it's
Yeah.
I'm closing it in with a they walk, but I'm gonna fly.
I'm gonna fly. Oh, dude. That's awesome.
That's funny, dude.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on the show. It's been great. Yeah, dude, it's been fun. Thanks for having me on.
No, man. Thank you, and we'll definitely get in touch. And thank you guys for being here in the Push Power to Power show. And thank you, Mr. Caleb. And we'll see you next time again. Peace out. See ya. Thank you, guys. Love you. Much love. I know that we're in an hour and 5 minutes. You missed it. You'll see it again. I'm going to reshare it. I know Caleb is going to share it. I know Christian is going to share it. I know if it's not this week, trust me, by Sunday when I get back from Austin, I'll definitely get the snippets out of here with subtitles, all of that little stuff, the audio, all of that is going to be done so I can push it out and you can start listening on Spotify, Alexa, and everything. So I'm very blessed to be here, and I'm very blessed that I had Caleb, and it's not going to be the first time. You will see him again in another podcast because I got more stuff working on it on my plate. So it's going to be an amazing year. 2021, man, it's like, it's almost, I'm saying like it's almost over because look, it's March, April, it's running fast. But as the year runs fast, man, your life is running fast. So get up, do something, man. Be your own character, love yourself, and love one another. I love you guys, and keep on pushing. Your boy Jesus Ortiz, the real Jesus Ortiz from the Push Power to Power show. Woo! It's out. Thank you.